Have you ever felt like there is something about you that no one can explain? A hidden, silent force that protects you, but also challenges you? What if I told you that this isn't imagination? It's a spiritual sign, an invisible calling that only a few can hear? Today, you will cross what many fear, the divine portal of the Scorpio. Scorpio is not just a zodiac sign, it is a spiritual seal, marked by forces that surpass human understanding. According to Edgar Cayce, the prophet of the invisible, those born under Scorpio carry within them a sacred code, a hidden spiritual power, destined to heal, protect, and transform everything around them. But this energy does not come without a price. It demands depth, it demands delivery, it demands soul. Many have felt this presence since childhood, inexplicable intuitions, prophetic dreams, presentiments that are confirmed, silences that protect, wounds that transform. This is no coincidence. It is the universe activating what Cayce called Scorpio consciousness, a rare consciousness, linked to the rebirth and spiritual regeneration of humanity. You are not here by chance. You were attracted to something bigger. Maybe it's time to understand why you never fit in, why feel so much, see beyond, sense before. Because whoever carries this energy carries a calling, and the call, once heard, can no longer be ignored. Stay with me. What you will discover now may awaken what has been dormant inside you for lifetimes. If you felt like these words touched something deep inside you, then this video is for you. And more than that, it's about you. Comment now, "I carry this energy," or "I accept my Scorpio essence." These comments are not just words, they are a confirmation, an energetic seal that activates spiritual recognition among those who have been called. Understanding this content can completely change the way you see yourself. It can explain pains that no one has ever understood, cycles of rebirth that you lived in silence, and gifts that you always hid for fear of appearing too different. But being a Scorpio at heart is this: being different, being profound, being transformative. And when you understand the spiritual origin of this force, everything starts to make sense. So leave a like now. It shows the universe that you're ready to embrace who you really are. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do so right now. Here, each video is a portal of spiritual revelations. Each new piece of content is another piece of the puzzle of your mission. It's not just about astrology. It is about spiritual awakening, living prophecy, ancestral memory. Share your experience in the comments. Tell me if you've ever felt strange dreams, repetitive signs, or goosebumps at words that seem to have been spoken directly to you. And stay until the end, because what comes now is even deeper. You will understand the true reason why Scorpio was marked with a strength that few could withstand, but that you were born to carry. Have you ever felt like you carry something dark but at the same time sacred inside you? As if a silent force had accompanied you forever, even when no one was looking? There are those who spend their lives trying to deny this feeling, this internal magnetism, this feeling that they were born for something that goes far beyond the ordinary. But if you are a Scorpio, or even if you have this strong archetype in your birth chart, know that this feeling is not fantasy. It's a sign, a calling, a spiritual password that only the initiated can decipher. Scorpio is not just any sign. It is a hidden power in human form, an energy that defies the surface and delves into the depths of the soul. Maybe you have gone through situations in life that no one understood. Maybe you felt pain that seemed to have no explanation, losses that came too soon, premonitions that came true even when you tried to ignore them. And the most intense thing about it all is that even in the moments when you fell, some part of you remained awake, observing, resisting, reborn. This is not weakness. This is spiritual transformation. And only those who have Scorpio energy alive within them can understand what it's like to die inside and still remain intact. This is the mystical power of Scorpio, the ability to go through symbolic death and return with your eyes even more open, your spirit even sharper, your mission even more alive. The truth is that most people fear this energy. They run away from pain, from shadows, from deep silence. But you feel a strange comfort in the darkness, because deep down, you know that this is where the true treasures of the soul are found. Scorpio does not seek light. He is light, but a different light, the one that shines at the bottom of the abyss, the one who guides the lost, the one that transforms, comes not as an antidote. And that's why you were never ordinary, because you carry within you the spiritual alchemy of the chosen ones. Edgar Cayce already said that those born under the influence of Scorpio carry a gift that cannot be taught. It is an ancient gift, inherited from past lives, honed by suffering and activated by cycles of rebirth. This energy does not manifest itself in an obvious way. It hides in the silences, between the lines, in the moments when you feel like everything has fallen apart, but it still stands. If you've experienced this, you know. The Scorpio soul doesn't break, she transmutes. She doesn't beg to be understood. She observes, feels, transforms, and follows. And maybe now you understand why certain people move away from you for no apparent reason, or why so many approach as if they felt a calling. Scorpio's energy does not go unnoticed. It attracts and repels. It enchants and scares, heals and confronts, but it always transforms. Whoever comes into contact with this vibration, whether through you or through what you carry, never leaves the same, because you are a spiritual mirror, a mirror that does not show the face, but the soul, and not everyone is ready to see each other completely. This is why you often feel like you don't belong. That carries too many secrets. Who understands too much? That feels too much. But maybe what hurt you was exactly what woke you up. And this awakening, no matter how lonely it may seem, is the greatest gift the universe could give you, because it only awakens those who came to guide. Only those who were born with spiritual wings dive so deep to climb further. And even if you still don't know exactly what your purpose is, there is something inside you that never stopped looking for. Now tell me, how many times have you sensed something and couldn't explain it? How many times have you felt goosebumps at a simple phrase, a repeated number, a dream that seemed more real than life? These are signs. Don't ignore it anymore. When you try to live like others, your energy goes out. But when you accept your deep, dark, intense nature, you reconnect with all that you came to be. And that's exactly what we're doing here now. Remembering what your soul already knew, but which the world tried to erase. If you've made it this far, don't ignore what you're feeling. Comment now, "I carry this energy," or write in the comments, "I accept my Scorpio essence." These comments are not just interaction. They are a ritual of spiritual recognition, a way to tell the universe that you are ready for the next portal. And if this video is already stirring something inside you, leave a like now. It shows that your soul heard this call. Sign up too, because in the next few minutes we'll dive even deeper into this mystery. You'll discover the true spiritual reason Scorpio was marked with this supernatural force that few could bear, but that you were born to carry. Scorpio feels too much, loves intensely, but in silence. Carry your loves and your pains like someone protecting a reliquary, and often this intensity is confused with coldness, when in fact it is just depth. Scorpio does not show what he feels, obviously, because his soul understands that not everyone is prepared to touch the truths he carries. And that is precisely why this sign is so often misinterpreted, misunderstood, even feared. But what few see is that, behind that firm gaze, there is an old soul, marked by experiences that were not chosen by chance. Every scar is a spiritual password. Every pain is a reminder that her journey was never ordinary. She was shaped for a purpose that transcends this life. Those born under the influence of Scorpio are not here to have a linear life. You came to dive, get lost, get broken, and then be reborn stronger, more awake, more conscious. The pain Scorpio feels is not punishment, it is instruction. It's code. It's as if the universe had handpicked its battles to awaken within it a potential that could not emerge any other way. This is the mark of the spiritually chosen. They do not go unnoticed by suffering, but they are not destroyed by it either. On the contrary, each fall brings them closer to their essence. Each loss reveals a forgotten part of your mission. How many times have you felt emotionally exhausted and still kept standing? How many times did you have to swallow your tears so as not to worry anyone, as if it were your role, to carry everyone's weight in silence? This force that seems indestructible did not come out of nowhere. It was built from the battles you fought in your soul, body, and spirit. And even when no one recognized your effort, the universe was taking note of everything. Because Scorpio is the invisible warrior of spirituality. the one who fights in silence, heals without doing our boast, and transforms without asking permission. That's why, even in the face of the greatest pain, you feel like there's something inside you that won't die, a kind of hidden light, which remains lit even when everything collapses around it. This light is your spiritual essence, and it feeds on every transformation you experience. Unlike other signs, which are often moved by logic or external search, Scorpio is moved by the truth of the soul, by the urgency of finding oneself, by the need to feel life in its entirety, even if it hurts, even if it knocks you down, even if it requires constant rebirth. Perhaps you have already experienced situations where everything around you seemed to be falling apart. Unexpected losses, silent betrayals, interrupted starts, endings that came too soon. But deep down, if you look honestly, each of these experiences pushed you closer to something you couldn't name, but that was always there. The awareness of your inner power. It is this awareness that makes you see the world differently, that makes you distrust the superficial, that makes you look for what is real, intense, transformative. So don't blame yourself for feeling too much. Don't think your sensitivity is a burden. In fact, it is a gift that the universe entrusted to you because it knew you would have the courage to deal with what others avoid. And that is exactly where the great Scorpio mission lies. Awaken through pain, that which can only be understood by the soul. It's not about living in pain, but about understanding that suffering for you was never without purpose. He was always a teacher, a starter, a portal, and this portal does not close. On the contrary, the more you allow yourself to go through it, the more aware you become of who you are. You begin to realize that you have the gift of seeing what is hidden, who feels truths that others are still learning to name, that your presence transforms environments, even when you are silent. All this because Scorpio did not come into the world to follow paths. It came to open portals, and to open a spiritual portal, it takes courage, surrender, and truth. 3 qualities that you have always carried, even if you tried to hide them for fear of being misunderstood. If you have ever felt that everything that hurt you made you see further, you have already begun to awaken. And awakening once started, there is no going back. Scorpio is the sign of rebirth, but not that superficial rebirth of someone who only changes on the outside. It is an internal, deep, spiritual rebirth. Burn, deconstruct, but free. Because only those who allow themselves to die inside can access the fullness of their own soul. And that's what we're talking about here. About recognizing that your wounds were not in vain, that your difficult journey carries a higher meaning, that there is a hidden why behind your every silence. Therefore, if you felt that this message spoke directly to what you carry inside, write now in the comments, "I am reborn with every pain," or "My mission begins in my pain." Comment from your heart as if it were a pact with your own essence. And if you haven't left a like yet, do so now. It shows that you're ready to go on this journey with me. Sign up, because in the next moment of the video, you will discover how Edgar Cayce saw the Scorpio soul as a tool for collective transformation, and why this mission is more sacred than you imagine. Edgar Cayce, known as the Sleeping Prophet, was one of the most enigmatic voices in modern spirituality, and his visions surpassed the limits of time and reason. In his readings, he spoke of old souls, of people marked by invisible missions, who returned to Earth not to live an ordinary life, but to fulfill a silent and essential role in the spiritual balance of the planet. And among all the forces he identified in astrological archetypes, Cayce pointed to Scorpio as one of the most powerful and, at the same time, most dangerous spiritual channels of collective transformation. For Cayce, anyone born under the Scorpio vibration carries within them an energetic field shaped not only by personality traits, but by spiritual experiences accumulated over multiple incarnations. He stated that many Scorpio souls are not young souls. They are old consciousnesses, already polished by internal wars, karmic cycles, and deep existential falls. These falls, far from being punishments, would be phases of forging, spiritual tests, because only those who have passed through the densest depths of the spirit are capable of serving as a bridge between worlds. Scorpio, according to Cayce, would be a kind of guardian between two planes, the physical and the spiritual. Your pain, your intensity, your silence. All of this would be a direct consequence of a soul that remembers what it experienced in other lives, even without consciously remembering it. That's why, often you feel as if you are living in two times at the same time, the now and a before that you cannot explain. That's not crazy. It is spiritual memory. It's the energetic baggage you bring with you that whispers in the back of your consciousness that something bigger is at play, that your presence in this world is no coincidence. Cayce said that Scorpio's gift is dangerous because it deals with the invisible. Not the beautiful invisible of lights and soft angels, but the raw, dense, real invisible. The part of the spiritual world that not everyone wants to see. The part where the real healing happens. The one that needs to open the wound so that it can then heal. Scorpio did not come to decorate the spiritual, came to clean it up, to cut out what is rotten, to rip off masks, so that, through chaos, a new order is born. Therefore, Scorpios cannot tolerate falsehoods, half-truths, or superficial relationships. He senses when something is out of alignment. He sees when someone is lying to themselves, and not because of arrogance, but because your soul has been trained to decode what is hidden. This spiritual training, according to Cayce, is so intense that many Scorpio souls have experienced death and rebirth in past lives. Some were healers, others were magicians, others were spiritual guardians of temples that no longer exist today. And all of this left marks, wounds, and also gifts. Gifts that are not always understood by those around them, because this energy is rare, intense, and difficult to translate into words. But whoever carries this mark feels it. You know that something pulses differently inside you. You know that ordinary life was never enough, and this inner restlessness is one of the main signs that the spiritual calling is active. Many people who feel out of place in the world are actually experiencing this type of Scorpio awakening. They can't fit in because they were born to break patterns, to transform structures, to be exactly what the world resists accepting. Souls aware of their true strength, and Cayce reinforces that this type of force, when not understood, can turn against the person himself. This is why many Scorpios experience such intense internal struggles. It is spiritual energy asking for direction. It is the spiritual gift requiring awareness. Because this power, when recognized, is capable of healing entire realities. But when ignored, it can generate self-destruction. And perhaps you are now understanding why so many phases of your life have felt like unexplained tests, why certain paths closed, why some pains needed to be faced alone. It was his spirit being calibrated, prepared, trained for a moment like this, the moment when everything starts to make sense, the moment when you not only understand the pain you felt, but begin to recognize the purpose behind it. Because, as Cayce said, Scorpios are not just someone undergoing transformation. They are the transformative agents themselves. Wherever it arrives, something changes. Wherever you step, something dies, and something is born. Sometimes in silence, sometimes with overwhelming force, but always with a greater purpose than the eyes can see. If up until now you have felt your soul being touched, if some words seem to have been spoken directly to you, then perhaps it is time for you to recognize this. Comment now, "I am a channel of transformation," or write, "My soul remembers who I am." These phrases are not just comments. They are spiritual seals. It's as if, when you write, you are consciously activating your mission, and if you haven't left a like yet, do so now. Your like is like an energetic signal. It shows that you are awake, that you are here by choice, that you are ready for what comes next. Subscribe to the channel too, because soon we'll dive even deeper into the mystery of the Scorpio soul, revealing the spiritual signs that confirm that you were marked to open portals and not live like everyone else. Scorpio's soul is a black mirror. It does not reflect the surface, but reveals the invisible. While many see faces, Scorpio sees intentions. While most feel the now, Scorpio senses what hasn't even happened yet. There is something ancient and sacred about this energy, a silent frequency that does not scream, but echoes deeply on the spiritual plane. Not just any soul can sustain this level of intensity, and for this reason, the Scorpio soul rarely finds an easy place in the world. She doesn't fit into superficialities. She doesn't feed on lukewarm relationships. She doesn't survive in environments where the truth is hidden, because Scorpio does not seek the truth. It is the truth that disturbs, but also heals. There is a spiritual layer to this energy that cannot be taught, only felt. This is what we call supernatural intuition. Scorpio knows without knowing how he knows. Feel what no one said. Notice the details that escape even the most attentive. Your soul fun. It acts like an invisible antenna, capturing vibrations, emotions, risks, calls from the invisible. Sometimes this comes in the form of a dream. Others, such as a sudden chill, discomfort in certain places, or a strong attraction to certain people. But it almost always comes with a silent certainty, that feeling that something is wrong or this is going to happen, and then it happens. This is not paranoia. This is refined spiritual sensitivity built over many lifetimes. This spiritual magnetism is also one of Scorpio's most powerful hallmarks. It's no ordinary charm. It's a presence that makes a mark. It is the energy that imposes itself without having to speak. It's the vibration that attracts attention, even when there is no intention of being noticed. This happens because the Scorpio soul carries a rare frequency, and people, even unconsciously, feel it. That's why some approach with fascination and others move away in fear. Both feel the same thing, that there is something profound, something out of the ordinary, something that transforms just through contact. And like all rare spiritual energy, Scorpio also carries the instinct of mystical protection. He is the type of person who protects with his gaze, with his silence, with his presence. Sometimes, without even realizing it, you are already absorbing the weight of an environment, transmuting the pain of someone you love, keeping a secret that hasn't even been revealed yet. Many Scorpios are spiritual guardians of their families, their circles, their companions, and because of this, they often feel emotionally exhausted, but they never say. They prefer to carry the burden in silence rather than expose their fragility. This is because somewhere in the unconscious they know that they came with this mission, who were marked to protect, not with words, but with energy. This pattern also explains constant rebirth. Scorpio does not live a single life within an incarnation. He lives complete cycles of death and rebirth, beginnings, abrupt endings, intense twists and turns, skin changes. All of this is part of your trajectory. How many times have you felt like you had to start over from scratch even when everything seemed stable? How many times have you been pulled by something invisible to abandon what no longer made sense, even if no one else understood your decision? This is not instability, it's the dynamics of your soul. Scorpio is born to be started and restarted as many times as necessary, because each symbolic death opens new access to deeper layers of your purpose. This process, however, is not always easy. Most people shy away from change. Scorpio, even in fear, surrenders. And it is this delivery that makes it different. The Scorpio soul understands that only what dies changes, and that's why she doesn't cling to what holds her back, even if it hurts, even if it takes time, even if it brings hidden tears. It will. She gets rid of what no longer represents her, and is reborn from her own ashes, with more consciousness, more strength, more light. That's why Scorpio has a strength that scares, because it is not a force of appearance, it is a force of essence, an energy that was built with pain, honed with silence, and consecrated by experiences that few could endure. This strength cannot be learned in books. It comes from the bottom of the soul, and along with it, she carries the responsibility of being an example, even without wanting to be a guide, even in silence, to be protection, even when no one thanks you. So if you feel like you live in these cycles, if you realize that you carry pain that no one understands, that you see what others don't see, that you feel when something is wrong without a logical explanation, that's not a problem. This is confirmation. Confirmation that you carry the Scorpion spiritual seal, that your soul vibrates at another frequency, that you came with a calling. And this call is not common. It requires courage. He demands delivery. It demands that you keep listening even when everyone around you is asleep. If up until now you have felt that you are hearing what your soul has been waiting for a long time, comment now, "My soul sees in the dark," or "I am reborn when everyone gives up." Write in the comments as if it were a silent commitment to your own spirit. Your comment isn't just a response, it's an activation. If you haven't left a like yet, do so now. This gesture shows that you recognize the value of what is being said here. And if you haven't signed up yet, now is the time. Because in the next few minutes, we're going to dive into a revelation that many avoid. What happens spiritually when Scorpio tries to deny its essence, and why this weakens its connection with the unseen. But be careful, because the same power that builds can also destroy. And when Scorpio moves away from its deepest essence, what was once a healing channel turns into a spiral of self-sabotage. It's not something that happens from the outside in. It's an internal, silent, slow, but devastating collapse. Scorpio was spiritually designed to dive into the depths, tens, and emerge with wisdom. But when this dive is denied, when the Scorpio soul tries to adapt to a surface that does not belong to it, the Sakri, spiritual portals close. The connection with intuition disappears. The signals become confused, and the once sacred energy turns against you. This happens because Scorpio energy is too intense to be repressed. She doesn't accept camouflage, can't stand the lie. When someone who carries this vibration tries to live as if they were normal, as if they didn't feel so much, as if they didn't know what they know, as if they were just another person, the universe responds, and responds with force. The soul begins to feel restless. Nothing satisfies. Relationships become unbearable. Previously safe places become empty. It's like everything starts to slowly fall apart. Not to punish, but to remember. Scorpio was not made to live like others. This is a spiritual truth that needs to be repeated as many times as necessary. Scorpio was made to question what is corrupt, to ignite what is stagnant, to deconstruct structures that no longer support the soul. But when you try to remain silent, when you settle for less than your soul asks for, when you ignore your own signals, the body feels it. The spirit gets sick, the mind goes into confusion, and life starts to seem meaningless. Many Scorpios go through phases of deep emptiness, a kind of existential disconnection that appears to have no cause, but which actually arises when the soul is being ignored. This is when the energy begins to implode. That natural strength of rebirth becomes resistance. What was intuition turns into anxiety. What was sensitivity becomes fear. What was spiritual protection becomes closure. Because when Scorpio runs away from his mission, spirituality shakes him, not as a punishment, but as a calling. And the call is always accompanied by signs, repetitive situations, people who disappear without explanation, losses that seem unfair, strange dreams, chills for no reason, discomforts that arise in ordinary environments. These are spiritual alerts. These are vibrational codes that the soul sends to warn, you are moving away from who you came to be. And ignoring these signs is the first step to falling into the trap of self-destruction. Because unlike other signs, Scorpio cannot live in the middle ground. It doesn't work with warm. Either you are connected to your spiritual mission, or you are losing yourself. And when this disconnection happens, the void becomes an emotional hole that is difficult to name. It's that feeling of being surrounded but alone, of having everything but feeling nothing, to be living but without a soul present. This is the result of a soul that has stopped listening to itself, of an energy that has been diverted from its purpose. Scorpio was born with a rare light, but this light only comes on when the courage to dive in is greater than the fear of being different. And being different, in the case of Scorpio, is not a choice, it's a mission. Some people get lost trying to adapt. Scorpio gets lost when it tries to erase itself. And the world doesn't need more erased souls. It needs your intensity, from your eyes that see what no one sees, your ability to transform pain into healing, of your power to be reborn without pretense. When you run away from who you are, the universe brings you face to face with your shadows. And it's not to punish you, it's to remind you of your light. What few know is that your light is not the one that shines at the top, but the one that survives in the depths. And denying this is like denying your own nature. So, if lately you've been feeling lost, disconnected, tired without knowing why, maybe it's time to ask yourself, at what point did I stop listening to my soul? At what point did I start living to please? When did I decide my intensity was too much? This is the spiritual alert, the moment to stop shrinking yourself to fit where your soul no longer fits. The time to remember that every time you deny who you are, you close a portal. But every time you accept your essence, even if in silence, something aligns, something breathes inside you again, and the portals, little by little, begin to open again. Dreams make sense again. Synchronicities reappear. the energy returns. If you felt that this part of the video spoke exactly about what you are experiencing now, comment below, "I'm returning to my essence," or "I refuse to turn off my light." Your comment is a direct response to the call your soul is feeling. And if you haven't left your like yet, now is the time. Your like shows that you are aware of your journey. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do so now, because soon we're going to go through the next layer of this deep dive. And you need to be present when we talk about the exact moment in which the Scorpio soul awakens its divine force and activates irreversibly your soul, your mission in this plan. Scorpio did not come to be understood with shallow words. Scorpio does not fit into ready-made formulas, simplified stereotypes, or generic descriptions. Because Scorpio is not just a sign, it is a living spiritual archetype, a soul that was carved in silence, forged in fire, honed in the shadows, and that carries within it the kind of strength that most will never know. When everyone is lost, it is Scorpio who finds the way. When everything seems to fall apart, it is the Scorpio soul that is reborn, not by luck, but because it was already prepared for it, prepared for breakdowns, prepared for cuts, prepared for the naked, raw, and necessary truth. And that's why it bothers you, because your presence awakens what many avoid seeing, the essence. But what needs to be said clearly is that Scorpio is not dark out of weakness. It is dark out of depth. He goes down where no one wants to go down. He looks at what no one has the courage to face. He goes through what most run away from, and, the most striking thing, he does not do this as a victim, but as a silent master. Scorpio is the warrior of the soul, he who fights in invisible fields, who energetically supports those on the edge of the abyss, who protects with his gaze and transforms with his presence. He doesn't need recognition. He doesn't live in search of applause. Because your mission is not to be seen, it is to be true. And the truth, as we know, is not always beautiful, but it is always liberating. The Scorpio soul, in its awakened stage, carries a magnetism that goes beyond the physical plane. It's as if each cell vibrates at an ancestral frequency, and wherever it goes, something changes. The environments feel, people feel, the invisible feels. Scorpio doesn't need to raise their voice to be heard. Its simple existence already communicates something profound, subtle, and transformative. He is the silent healer, the one who welcomes with silence, who understands without asking, who goes through the pain of others without making a spectacle of it. Scorpio realizes what no one says, listen to what no one had the courage to tell, and even when injured, he chooses to protect. This is the nobility of your spirit, a nobility that is not always recognized, but that operates as a mystical force behind the scenes of life. While many seek light as an escape from darkness, Scorpio understands that true light does not deny the shadow. It is born from it. He is the light that lights up at the end of the tunnel, not the one that flashes at the top, visible to everyone, but the one that shines at the bottom, in the silence, in solitude, at the limit. Scorpio is the invisible torch that guides those who are about to give up. That is why he is feared, and at the same time sought after. Because even without realizing it, many know, it is in Scorpio that the portal to true healing is found. This healing, however, does not come without pain, because Scorpio doesn't soften truths. He reveals. It cuts where it needs to be cut. He rips off the veil with surgical precision, and that in itself is already transformative. Therefore, those who pass through the life of a Scorpio never leave the same, because Scorpio energy is like a rite of passage. It confronts you, challenges you, takes you apart, and if you're ready, awakens you. And this awakening is a spiritual gift, a rebirth that is only possible because someone had the courage not to lie, not to pretend, not to run away. That someone, most of the time, is Scorpio. And even though he himself is fighting internal battles, even though he is tired, he continues. Because your soul knows it came for more, that carries something bigger, which is at the service of something invisible. Scorpio has a pact with the invisible, with what you can't see but you feel, with what cannot be explained but transforms. This connection is real, it is alive, it is sacred, and when he is aligned with his essence, there is no force that can stop him. Scorpio is not just strong, he is necessary. He is the one who holds the world together when everything threatens to fall. And that is why you, who carry this energy, need to recognize the greatness that exists within you. Because your pain is not common. It has spiritual roots. She came to form you, not to destroy you. Each time you survived, you became a purer channel. Each time you refused to give in to the darkness, even when it surrounded you, you activated more light within yourself. And it is this light that you can now give to the world. A silent, firm, dense, transformative light. The Scorpio light. The light that emerges from the darkness. If you felt that this excerpt spoke directly to you, comment now, "I am the light that comes from darkness." Or, "My pain forged my mission." Don't write on impulse. Write as a pact, as a confirmation to the universe that you are aware of the strength you carry. Your comment is a spiritual seal, a recognition of the soul. And if you haven't left your like yet, now is the time. Show that you honor your essence. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because in the next moment of this video, we're going to dive even deeper into one by one. Such a revelation, the final call for Scorpio to fully awaken and align itself definitively with its spiritual mission on this plane. If you've come this far, still with me, still feeling every word as if it weren't just sound, but vibration inside your chest, then understand, this was not by chance. It wasn't a random click. It wasn't superficial curiosity. It was called, your soul recognized something. He felt the weight and truth of this message. And when the soul recognizes it, the body reacts, with silence, with goosebumps, with teary eyes, with that deep feeling that someone has finally put into words what you've always felt, but have never been able to explain. This is the activation of a spiritual code. And Scorpio, among all the signs, is the one that carries these hidden codes the most, because your energy doesn't just speak to the mind, it touches the invisible that lives within you. You need to understand that when something touches your soul like that, it's not just about a video, or about astrology, or about spirituality. It's about spiritual memory. It's about alignment with your essence. It's about the right time when you listened to what the universe was already trying to tell you in other ways. Maybe you ignored the signs. Maybe you've strayed from your truth for a while. But it doesn't matter. The important thing is that now, at this very moment, something has been reactivated within you, and this can no longer be ignored. Scorpio is not to be tamed. Scorpio is not for living in eternal silence. Scorpio is for awakening, embracing, and expanding your light made in the depths. And that light only grows stronger when you recognize it, when you declare to yourself that you will no longer erase yourself to fit in, that you will no longer doubt your own intuition, that you will no longer betray your soul for fear of being too intense. This is the moment of the spiritual seal, because the word has power. What you write truthfully activates frequencies, and the comment you leave below is not for me. It's for the universe, it's for yourself. It's a pact. So if something inside you has been touched, and you know when it is, comment now, "I carry this energy." Or, if you want something even deeper, write, "I accept my Scorpio essence." Don't do it for engagement. Don't do it on impulse. Make it as if you were marking this moment with awareness, as if a new cycle was opening, as if saying, "I know who I am, and I accept my mission." Because this simple act of writing, in this vibration, in this space, transforms the comment into a stamp, a spiritual seal, a way of saying, "I'm ready to continue, and you need to keep going." Because what you felt now is just the beginning. There are other revelations waiting for you, other spiritual activations that will connect with the energy you carry. And the next video that comes out is not random. It is in perfect sequence with what you just heard. In it, we will reveal the hidden gift of Sagittarius, a completely different frequency, but one that connects with Scorpio like the light that is born after crossing the shadow. And you need to be present to receive it, because the spiritual journey is not made in just one step. It is made of movement, delivery, and continuity. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now is the time. Don't postpone this step. Your subscription is more than just following content. It's saying to the universe, "I'm available for my journey." And don't forget to leave a like, because every intentional gesture you make here reinforces the energy we're creating together. This is more than a video. It is a space of consciousness, a portal where awakened souls meet. So now, do it with presence. Comment your sentence, declare your essence, sign up, and get ready, because what's coming next will expand everything you just felt. And if you thought Scorpio was deep, wait until you find out what happens when Sagittarius receives its spiritual arrow straight from the divine. The portal remains open, and you are part of it. If you've stayed with me this far, until the last second of this video, that says a lot about you. His soul heard, his spirit recognized it, and that is rare. Most watch out of curiosity, but those who stay until the end, it's because they carry something inside them that has already begun to awaken. So now I invite you, with conscience, with truth, with intention, to subscribe to the channel. Here it is not just another content, it is a spiritual space where each video is a portal, and each word is an activation. Your sign up is more than a click. It's a signal to the universe that you're ready to continue this journey. If you made it this far, comment. Now, I awakened with Scorpio. This phrase will connect you with other souls who are also touched by this message. It is your seal, your ritual, your confirmation. And of course, if this content really touched you, leave your like now, frog. This helps the video reach others who, like you, are seeking to understand their mission, their inner strength, and their deeper spiritual connection. And before leaving, look there, on the left side of the screen. The next video is already waiting for you. He is the continuation of this journey. If Scorpio showed you who you are, Sagittarius will show you where your soul is pointing. Click now and continue. The portal is still open, and the next reveal has already begun.